أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد المصطفى وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقادا وناصرا ودليلا معينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا نتمتع فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. One of the things that we've been ordered and to do a lot is istighfar. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about those people. وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. So of course before that I will comment on Brother Hussein regarding Surah Al-Alaq. Imam Al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi says, that's a beautiful hadith regarding Surah Al-Alaq, that whoever reads Surah Al-Alaq in his day and dies at that day, he will be considered as a martyr, and he will be raised as a martyr, and his life will be written as a martyr, and not any martyr, but a martyr who defended Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam in his wars. So it's a very short surah. Of course, maybe some people will skip it because it does have a sajdat wajiba, but it's like less than half a page. Inshallah, we'll try and recite that every day of our lives, inshallah. Put it into our routines, like daily, if it's when we wake up before we go to bed, or when we have free times. So going back to one of the recommended things is to do istighfar. And who doesn't need istighfar? The majority of us. I mean, I know myself. I know sometimes if I said something or did something, I need to do istighfar and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. So if someone does istighfar a lot, his book of a'mal, his book of life, let's say, will be lifted, and it's illuminating and it's sparkling. The hadith narration from Imam Al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salam alayhi says tatala'la, means sparkling. And there is another hadith from Imam Al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salam alayhi as well. إن العبد إذا أذنب ذنبا أجل من غدوه إلى الليل فإن استغفر الله لم يكتب عليه. If someone did something, and if he that sin or his doing will not be written if he did it in the morning, like it will given like 12 hours at least until it will be written. So plenty of time to do istighfar before that. And if he comes to his senses, come back to his mind, and he does that. And there's another hadith that Tuba, they say it's the name, if one name of the heaven or a tree in heaven. Tuba li'abdin, that Tuba for the servant who is under each sin of his, there's an istighfar. So astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh min jami'i dhunubi. Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh, in his beautiful words to his son Imam Hassan salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, says, أما بعد فإن الذي في يدك من الدنيا قد كان له أهل قبلك وهو صائر إلى أهل بعدك. Whatever of this world is now with you, it was with others before you, and it will pass to someone other after you. You know, I don't think the amount of gold in the world have changed. It's like just passed on, like from people to people, from countries to countries, from places to places. And Amir al-Mu'mineen continues, وَإِنَّمَا أَنْتَ جَامِعٌ لِأَحَدَ رَجُلَيْنِ رجل عمل فيما جمعته بطاعة الله فسعد بما شقيت به، أو رجل عمل فيه بمعصية الله فشقيت بما جمعت له، وليس أحد هذين أهلا أن تؤثره على نفسك ولا أن تحمله على ظهرك. Thus you are collecting things for either of two sort of men. A man who uses whatever you collect in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and thus acquiring virtues with what was evil for you. Or a man who uses it to disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you will be getting evil for what you collected. Neither of these two is such that you should prefer him over you and your own self. Or you may burden yourself for his own sake. So truly, like, it's two sort of people you will leave this money of this world for. Either he's a good person or a bad person. He will be either better than you or worse than you. There's not gonna be like exactly the equal amount. So you're more deserving of using your life and your money for good. Of course, that doesn't mean that you leave nothing for your kids and for your wife. Of course not. But some mu'mineen, what they do is during their lifetime, they give to their relatives, they give to their sons, so they don't wish for them to die in order to inherit them. And some people, of course, leave them their portion. We are forbidden not to leave that. There is a hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came back to Medina. He was away. He saw a couple of kids asking people for money, like they are poor now. And he said that, didn't their father used to be rich? They said, yes, but he left everything for Islam. He said, okay, where did you bury him? They said, in the places of Muslims. He said, no, you shouldn't have buried them there. You should have buried him with non-Muslims. So we have this obligation towards our sons and our kids, but not everything. And don't leave something like for your kids and people who inherit you after yourself to use it better than you. You use it better, so you will get the rewards. And you see all these people fighting over nothing in this world. So there was this narration I remember about Isa ibn Maryam ala nabina wa alihi wa alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam, that he was walking and saw two people fighting over some piece of land. And he had this ability, of course, of raising the dead, bringing people to life. So he brought people to life who before them owned this land, and those two people started watching those people fighting again over this. He said, see, those people are gone. You will be gone as well. Learn from your mistake. This world, it's not worth it. So get something, as the hadith goes, it's like a market. You either you gain or you lose. Try to be the one who gains in this market and the one who sends for his hereafter. There's a beautiful narration from Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi that says, "Man dhakara al-maut radiya min ad-dunya bil-yasir." If you mention death, you don't need a lot from this world. And there's a beautiful hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam that he says, أفضل الزهد في الدنيا ذكر الموت وأفضل العبادة ذكر الموت وأفضل التفكر ذكر الموت فمن أثقله ذكر الموت وجد قبره روضة من رياض الجنة. الله أكبر. That the best way of zuhud, to be pious, is to mention death, to remind yourself of death. And the best kind of worshipping is to remind yourself of death. And the best kind of thinking is to remind yourself of death. And if someone is burdened with this, all these reminders of that he will die one day, he will find his grave part of heaven, inshallah. Inshallah, Allah will keep us on the path of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad and grant us their intercession. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala tayyibin al-tahirin.